Have you ever wondered what it means to be mindfully productive? Maybe you feel overwhelmed and stressed all the time and you feel like you're constantly more reactive than proactive about the work that you need to get done, and you don't really know how to switch from being just this productivity machine but not feeling really good about that and about yourself to being more mindfully productive and having the time for yourself to create balance in your life. Then great, because in today's video I want to talk with you exactly about that. So I would say, let's get started. Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Julia Arndt and I'm a peak performance coach and stress management trainer, and I'm really excited that you are here today. If you are a busy professional and you are looking for ways in order to feel more accomplished at the end of the workday and sustain your performance over time, then I'm really excited that you are here, and I hope that you're going to check out the other videos on my channel as well that will help you to create more sustainable performance in your life. So I want to talk with you today about mindful productivity, and I'm super excited about this topic because this has been something that I've been teaching and practicing myself over the last 4.5 years. I'm really excited to jump with you now into mindful productivity, and I think the first step to understanding this better is to look at the definition of mindful productivity. Mindful productivity refers to the practice of engaging in tasks and work activities with focused attention, intentionality, and awareness, resulting in increased efficiency, effectiveness, and overall well-being. So in today's video, I want to teach you a couple of first things that you can actually do in order to be more mindfully productive. So to be more intentional with your time and feel more accomplished at the end of your workday. The first thing that I'd like you to do is to answer the question, what means productivity to you? What would you like it to mean? What would you like it to stand for? This is a really powerful journaling prompt that I just answered in my recent Plan With Me video. So make sure to check that one out, especially if you're curious to hear what kind of answers I gave for that particular journaling prompt, because I think that really describes super well what productivity means for me. So let's actually take a look. This is something that I've actually been working on for the last 4.5 years and that I've been teaching a lot of people on. But I feel like the word and the term has really just been starting to shape for me. And so that was a wonderful question to sit down and reflect on. And I wrote down, productivity for me means intentional planning, structure, time for myself, prioritization, feeling accomplished at the end of the day, boundaries, balance, and feeling like I am making progress. Super excited to talk with you more about that, but this is a really good thing for you to check in on as well. What means productivity to you? What do you want to do in order to feel better about yourself? So, good question. So now that you learned what mindful productivity is, and you also answered yourself the question, what means productivity to me? Now I really want to dive with you into a couple of specific things that mindful productivity is and how you can start to implement it into your own life. The most important thing, and something that if you have been following me for a while, you know I always talk about this, is to be intentional. So set intentions for your day, set intentions for your week, and set intentions for your month. I think it is really important to prioritize your time, because usually you're so busy. Usually there are so many things that need to get done and you feel like you are just a hamster in a hamster wheel and you're not actually getting the things done that matter most to you. And you need to stop that. You absolutely need to stop that, and you can stop that by starting to be more intentional. What is it that you actually need to get done today, this week, this month. Okay, so that's really how I am breaking down my months as well, which is why I'm recording the Plan With Me videos for you. And that's also why I created the Plan Your Week with Julia series. So if you want to start really integrating that into your day-to-day, if you need a little bit more accountability and commitment, and if you need the first journaling prompts in order to create a new habit, I welcome you to register and join us every Monday. It is for free. We meet every Monday at 8 a.m. PST for 30 minutes to set you up for success for the week ahead. And that's made such a significant difference in my life over the last 4.5 years, and it's made such a significant difference to the over 8,000 people that I've trained at this point in corporate and obviously in groups and individuals as well. So setting intentions, really important, and a really important practice for mindful productivity. The second thing that mindful productivity is to single task instead of multitask. I'm definitely not perfect at that. I definitely have days where a lot of things are going on and I'm trying to get a lot of different things done. But when I force myself to be really productive in the sense of I really want to focus on this one task, and I close all of my tabs and I close my inbox tab and I maybe even leave my phone in another room, wow, I can get so much done and so much accomplished that I would have never gotten done otherwise. And I think also the quality is suffering if you are multitasking. Ask yourself this question: if you are multitasking, are you really being fully productive, and are you really producing good, high qualitative work? The answer is probably no, because there's actually neuroscience that shows us that we are not able to multitask. Our brain is not able to do that. You're actually breaking your brain into two sides and it's trying to do kind of both things at the same time, but your brain is not designed to do two things at the same time, and not three things, and definitely not four things, okay? So single tasking is a really important part of being mindfully productive as well. With mindful productivity, of course, comes mindful breaks. Because if you want to be mindful about how much energy you actually have available in order to produce focused and good work, then you need to take breaks. Because the part of your brain that is responsible to focus and organize and structure information and do all of the different tasks that you're performing throughout the day, the so-called prefrontal cortex, is not designed to function 24/7. In fact, that part of the brain requires a lot of energy and a lot of attention, because it is not the automated part of your brain, it is the conscious part of your brain. And as you can imagine, conscious means it takes a lot of effort. So if you have been working on a specific task for 1.5 hours or 2 hours, or if you have been in meetings back to back for 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, then your brain cannot think anymore. And if you want to be mindfully productive, you need to take breaks. And the way of how I do this is I plan breaks every single day into my calendar. I actually have a standing 60-minute lunch break with myself. This is a super important break for me. And then I have a really important morning routine. I have an evening routine. I even schedule 30-minute blocks in between those meetings as well, in order to take a moment to breathe, in order to take a moment to go to the bathroom. We've all been there, where we have back-to-back meetings and then one meeting is running over. You're not really taking care of yourself. You need to go to the bathroom, you're hungry, you're thirsty, and you're just not really fully present anymore. And that doesn't feel good. So mindful breaks are a really important part of creating a mindful productivity lifestyle. And I'm so glad that you're here to learn more about that. So let's jump into the next thing that you can start to establish in order to create more mindful productivity in your own life. One thing that I always talk about in the Plan Your Week with Julia series is time blocking, because once you are really clear on the priorities that you have for the week, I want you to not only get really clear on how much time does it actually take to accomplish these tasks. Maybe it's 3 hours, maybe it's 10 hours, but I also want you to go into your calendar and actually block that time. This is, again, what I talk a lot about in the Plan Your Week with Julia series. This is what I see people struggle with the most. And I know that you might still be able to optimize that a little bit for your own life as well, right? So check in with yourself. Ask yourself, am I already time blocking? Do I start my Mondays feeling completely overwhelmed and anxious because I actually feel like I need to get everything done in one day? That's kind of the sentiment that we oftentimes have on a Monday morning, right? And so in order to avoid that, get clear on what you need to get done, how long will it take, and obviously plan your week accordingly and create time blocks on your calendar over the course of the whole week, because you actually have 5 days to work usually, right? To make sure that you're getting these things done. Okay, so then there are 2 more things that I want to share with you today. I know that's a lot of information, and this is more an overview of what mindful productivity is. If you want to dive deeper into one of these particular topics, right? For example, how to time block your calendar, how to set boundaries, how to create better mindful breaks, there are videos on my YouTube channel that you can check out, because this is exactly what I want you to start implementing in your life. Those are exactly the strategies that I'm trying to teach you. These are the habits that I want you to develop in order to feel better about yourself and to create a better balance in your life. So 2 more things. The first thing is mindful transitions. I really think that's so important, and that's something that I talk about a lot in my videos as well. I already mentioned my morning routine, my lunch break, and my evening routine. And transitions are really, really important in order to really close out your day. Make sure that you are not with half of your brain still at work while you're trying to spend time with family. I know that is something that you're probably struggling with on a regular basis. So mindful transitions are there to switch off and let go of all of the things that happened today. Maybe plan a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about mindful transitions. And then really move into the next part of your day. How I like to do mindful transitions is by taking a moment at the end of my workday to reflect on a couple of questions. I actually have my peak performance planner for that, and there is a section for the evening in order to reflect on your day. And I find that super powerful. I ask myself, what is my energy level? Because that gives me some really good insight into what do I need to do now in order to take care of myself before I'm moving into the second part of my day, or in order to move into the last part of my day. Maybe I need to exercise, maybe I need to take a nap, maybe I need to do a meditation, right? That energy level will give me some insight into what do I actually need right now. Then another question that I have in that is, what did I do today to take care of myself? And sometimes the realization is, well, I haven't had time for anything today, and I really need to make sure that before I'm spending time with my family, I have 30 minutes for myself, or maybe even 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be long, but 15 to 30 minutes to just recharge my own batteries. Another question is, what can you celebrate today? And then finally also, what can you do better tomorrow? And that really helps me to be really, again, intentional about how am I feeling. I'm checking in with myself, but also to be really intentional about how do I actually want to set up myself for the next day as well. So sometimes I might even already write down a to-do list of the things that I need to get done tomorrow. I might even already look at my calendar. All of these things can happen as a close your work day out routine, I kind of call it, because that will help you better to completely switch off. Because why do you still have work stuff on your mind? Because you're running from one thing to another without taking a second to actually be there for yourself and reflect on what actually happened, okay? So those little intentional spaces make a huge difference. Make sure that you're creating mindful transitions into your day in order to be there for yourself and better show up for your loved ones. And then the final thing about mindful transitions is to reflect and review. And I already kind of talked about that actually with the mindful transitions as well, but reflecting and reviewing what you have been doing on a regular basis and creating self-awareness around what worked well, what is still not working really great, where do you still feel challenged. Experimenting is really an important part of that, to actually take action and to do things and to trust that even though they might not be perfect, at least it will give you insight into what is working for you and what is not working for you. So you make these micro adjustments, and that create, at the end of the day, your optimal workday. And that is the beauty about mindful productivity, and that is why I love to teach this so much, because at the end of the day, for each of my clients, for each of the individuals that I'm talking to, their day looks different, because all of us have different preferences. So there's no right or wrong, there's only your way. And I really encourage you to start trying it out. Take one of the tips that I shared with you today, take one of those strategies of mindful productivity and start to integrate them into your life. It doesn't have to be overnight. You don't have to be perfect by tomorrow. This is a process. As I told you before, I've been working on this for the last 4.5 years. That's a lot of testing and failing and trying again, a lot of it. And I'm still not perfect at it today. I obviously have a lot more information of what works for me, what works for my clients. People always ask me, what kind of systems do I use? And if you're curious about that, I'm super happy to talk a little bit more about that as well in one of the next videos. So leave me a comment down below if you are curious about that kind of topic. But I mean, really, it's all about how much effort you are putting into your day. So I encourage you to get started. I encourage you to check out a couple of other videos on my YouTube channel to dive deeper into those particular topics that I mentioned today. And that's all I wanted to share with you today. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Take care of yourself, and I hope to see you soon.